I went to Northwestern in the theater school because they only the film school was one room then, and they had one textbook, and I think it was by a man named Arthur Knight, Knight, who taught at USC. This was an eye blink. Well, it wasn't an eye blink. It was more like 7 or 8 years before the beginning of of university level film school.
Film classes.
Yeah,
right.
And I went out when I went to Northwestern, the theater school, because they didn't have a film school, but I was never really interested in theater. And in those days, everybody put down film.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was like the hip thing.
Well, because theater was like, I've heard...
It's noble.
Yes,
it's the real acting.
Yeah, it's real acting.
Legitimate theater.
Right.
That's right. It was. But I mean, I went out and I couldn't stop myself. I went into the one room that was the Northwestern Film School, and I got hold of a 16mm camera, and I was 18 or maybe 19.
There's no turning back.
And I went out. Well, I'll tell you, these are names now that are gone. But then when I went to New York City, because I only stayed at Northwestern a year, I tried to edit that film with Milton Katsalis. And Milton Katsalis became a famous acting teacher. He's probably been gone for 10 years now. Mm-hmm. But he held the premier professional acting class in Beverly Hills 20 years ago. I mean, that was
really?
Yeah, that was where all the stars went to to practice acting, to hone their chops.
So you must have rubbed elbows with some notables.
Some of the greats.
Actually, I did. I mean, I started out with. I've got stories, man.
Look, we only have 3 hours.
I know.
I mean, we still got to get to like Chucky and stuff. But go ahead, please.
No, we got
please.
time. We got time.
Please. Give us one.
I did a play at the New Dramatists Guild called "The Tiger Wears an Orange Necktie," and there was a little guy in it who was three or 4 inches shorter than I was, bad teeth, wonderful human being, and even more, a really sensational actor, and much better than I was. And we became friends. And I ended up doing soaps at ABC on West 66th Street, I think. Mm-hmm. And I ran into this actor in the men's room. Okay. And he was wearing like a 1948 suit, and he was delivering packages for money. And I found it just really depressing because this guy had the best use of his body in terms of communicating what he felt of any actor that I ever met. And to cut it short, it was Al Pacino.
No!
Wow.
Delivering boxes. Wow. That's
And
great.
I was thinking little person.
Hey, whatever happened to that guy? Do you want to eat a few things there?
Yeah, he did a couple things.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up taking the part that I played in that play at the New Dramatists Guild, and they went off Broadway with it, and he played the part.
Oh,
wow.
That I'd originally was about dope addicts. Naturally. But it was like practice for Panic and Needle Park.
Yeah.
But Al was a brilliant actor. I mean, he really was far better than any of the rest of us.
You're selling yourself short here. Come on.
No, not that kind of talent. Al had.
There's a thing that you see, that when I used to work at this theater in San Francisco called The Current, and he was doing American Buffalo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And guy's amazing. And from the very back of the theater to be riveted into someone who was not even delivering his lines in a way that maybe your standard theater actor would. A lot of this stuff was real method and talking into his lap and that kind of thing, but you couldn't take your eyes off him. You were riveted.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was his use of his body.
Yes.
He could communicate with his body. It wasn't really the spoken word. And Al was a super in an apartment building. He had a drinking problem. I don't remember any narcotics. Mm-hmm. But he was sweet. He was funny. And he was really talented.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he turned out okay. He went on to.
He did okay.
Yeah.
He did okay.
But so after you did the soap, Right.
Well, then I began. God, if I really went through that, go on.
Yeah.
No, I got a 7-year contract to Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
I guest starred in the last season of 77 Sunset Strip.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes.
And you did the Incredible Hulk. You were in.
That was
much later.
That was much later.
But you did do it.
Yes, I did.
But you were in like combat and.
I was in combat. I was in Temple, Houston, which was Jeffrey Hunter. Christ,
Young Lawyers.
I was the lead in the Young Lawyers. Zalman King and I. Zalman's now gone.
Oh yeah, Zalman.
We're fans.
Well, but I mean, who would ever think? I mean, Zalman ended up making his money doing softcore porn.
That's right, the Red Shoe
Red
Diaries.
Shoe
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
Goodness.
You could not have been a more serious actor than Al presented him. The Young Lawyers was 70 or 71, I guess. Then Zalman presented himself, and I was always amazed because he also wrote 9.5 Weeks.
That's right. Yeah.
But he didn't really write it. His wife did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or did he live it?
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks.
Very Jewish couple than Zalman and his wife. And the last thing you would have thought about would have been any bondage was not in the picture.
Well, sit down and eat.
And I ran into Zalman at a party. This was a few years. This was in or around the time. It was after 9.5 weeks anyway. And all he could tell me was about how much money he was making off of R-rated,
Sometimes you got to follow the money.
But I mean, when we did the Young Lawyers, it was all about method acting and feeling it, and and that. Let's see, the guest star of that was Richie Pryor.
Wow.
Really?
And I was Richard's lawyer. And
What was he like back then? Do you remember?
he had the first crew that he traveled with. I'd never seen that before, so it was him and his trailer and 3 or 4 other black guys. He was like so many of them. He couldn't stop making jokes.
Yeah.
He was always on.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's the thing.
But there was also with him there was an insecurity. He was frail even then.
Really?
And this was long before he got into any of the crack and all that crap. But there was something very vulnerable about him.
Right.
But I can't tell you that I ever thought that he would go on to become one of the biggest comedy stars in the world. That hadn't occurred to me. But it was, another very unusual talent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.